Hi, and welcome to the Bee's Knees. With winter break coming up and some snow days, I thought in this segment we could talk about some winter reads that are great. These are going to be five young adult novels that will definitely get you in the mood for some snow days and to curl up with some hot chocolate and a blanket. So here are my five top winter wonderland reads. The first book that I'm going to be discussing is an older book. It's called The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. This book definitely would fall in the genre of fantasy because it's about four kids who are all siblings and they find another world called Narnia inside a wardrobe. They fight against evil, such as the White Witch, and they go on this really amazing adventure and fight for the freedom of Narnia along with a courageous leader who just so happens to be a lion, and his name is Aslan. I give this book a 10 out of 10 and recommend it for anyone in the middle school and high school age. My next winter read would have to be Brian's Winter, and it is by Gary Paulson. This book follows his first book called Hatchet, and I'm just going to read the back. What if Brian had never been rescued? In the Newbery Honor winning Hatchet, 13-year-old Brian Robinson learned to survive alone in the Canadian wilderness, armed only with his hatchet. As millions of readers know, he was rescued at the end of the summer. But what if that hadn't happened? What if Brian had been left to face the deadliest enemy, winter? Gary Paulson raises the stakes for survival in this riveting, inspiring story as one boy confronts the ultimate test and the ultimate adventure. This book kept me on my edge of my seat the whole time. I loved Hatchet. I actually read it as a seventh grader, and I'd never got into it until after high school, the rest of the books, but this book definitely was really, really good. It kept me interested the whole time, and it definitely was the alternate adventure. I'd have to give it probably an 8 or a 9 out of 10 just because Hatchet was such a great book. But this one definitely will keep you on the edge of your seat for sure. The next book has to be one of my all-time favorite books is The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. This book was amazing. The movie definitely did not do it justice. Do not ever judge a book by the movie. This book, amazing. It follows Lyra, who is content to run wild among the scholars of Jordan College, with her demon familiar always by her side. But the arrival of her fearsome uncle, Lord Asriel, draws her to the heart of a terrible struggle, the struggle born of gobblers and stolen children, witch clans, and armored bears. As she hurtles towards danger in the far cold north, Lyra never suspects the shocking truth. She alone is destined to win or to lose this more than normal mortal battle. Definitely suspenseful, definitely a fantasy read. Definitely one of my favorites. I read this every year with my 8th graders. And since I'm teaching 6th grade now, I still think you would be able to enjoy it. It definitely fits the middle school read, definitely fits the high school read. This gets into some serious themes and discussions that high schoolers would be more able to understand than the middle schoolers. But love, 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 love this book. It is a series. There are 3 in it. I know that HBO is coming out with a series about these books, so I'm hoping that that's going to do it more justice. But 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 100 out of 10. Great, 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 great book. The fourth read that we will be discussing is called Let It Snow. It's actually a collection of 3 stories combined into one, written by 3 different authors, John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Um, an ill-timed storm on Christmas Eve buries the residents of Gracetown under multiple feet of snow and causes quite a bit of chaos. One brave soul ventures out into the storm from her stranded train and sets off a chain of events that will change quite a few lives. Over the next 3 days, one girl takes a risky shortcut with an adorable stranger. 3 friends set out to win a race to the Waffle House, and the hash brown spoils. And the fate of a teacup pig falls into the hands of a lovesick barista. This book literally is like a Hallmark movie for Christmas. It's that Hallmark Christmas movie that you want to watch over and over and over and over and over. Netflix actually just came out with a film about this book. I haven't got to watch it yet because I wanted to read the book first before I watched it, because you always want to do that. But so worth it. I love how these stories intertwine with each other, and with these 3 amazing authors, you cannot go wrong. 10 out of 10, most definitely, with romance reads, and definitely a Christmas Hallmark. Oh my gosh, it's in a book. It's great. Last but not least, I wanted to save this one for last because it's such a new book. It actually came out this November 2019. Right before Thanksgiving is when it came out. It is called Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. This book, definitely a good one. It falls with the fantasy reads. It's an adventure. It's really, really great. The Walker women of Fir Haven have always lived in the woods. Some say the first Walker woman came from the forest. Her bones built the roots and thorns as she sprouted up from the ground. This is where their legacy began, a strange and mythical legacy rooted in rumors and folklore. Over the years, there have been many tales of Walker women. Most have been lost, stories forgotten, fables and myth washed away with the spring rains. This story is one such tale. It was once scattered like autumn leaves, buried in the soil, stitched there until it arose, until something stirred it loose, until the forest shuddered and opened its eyes. This book follows a girl who is one of the walkers. I love it too because it's like blue inside. It's really cool. Follows one of the Walker girls. She's like one of the last ones, and boys have been going missing, and she wants to find out why after she finds one of these boys that goes missing. The hype of the book, 10 out of 10, most definitely. The read of the book, about an 8 out of 10. Took me a while to get into, but once I got into it, pretty good. That's why I would rate this as a 8 out of 10, just because of how kind of long it took me to get into it. Still a great read, still very great, really enjoyed it, kept me interested. If you love witchery things, spells, definitely still kind of upset that it's not Halloween anymore. Great read. Definitely for you. Well, those are the 4 books that I thought, or 5 books that I thought would keep anyone interested through the winter. It's definitely like a really cozy blanket, and it'll definitely keep you warm. I hope to hear that some of you have read these books and will read these books and put them on your Christmas list. Because I think these winter reads are absolutely the bee's knees. So happy holidays. See you soon.